Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how the SEO works in Iobb. On the left side you'll have, I'm assuming you're in the dashboard right now. On the left side you'll have Site Manager, and this is the CMS portion of it. Okay. There are the simple way to get to it would be the under Pages. So you'll have a list view, depends on how you see this here, and a tree view. Now the tree view is easier to find. The GTL site is under GTL and theme. We could move this around a bit. The theme is the original theme that we purchased, and anything that starts with the GTL inside of here is the files. So here's the home page. So as you see, you have the page name. This is what it's listed in Business Catalyst or Iobb, and then the folder, the template that's used. Okay, and then this is the name of the URL, which you can change. You can only change the last part, not the folder. So you have to create the folder where you want them stored initially, where it's different than similar to how WordPress is, that you have to set up the folders up front, or the directory structure naming up front. This is similar. You have to set it up front, where you want it. You can create a new one, but you always have to specify where you're going to put the folder. Okay. Now the metadata is can be done two ways. You have the page title here, description, and then you can be this is the search results. You can be hidden from search engines, and you notice how it sticks the information in here in the head. I can hide or show. And by the way, you don't have to, if I put page description, you'll see it show up. Okay. Now we can take this. Now the keywords, they state stop introducing the keyword tag in here, because they're really not used by Google publicly. I'm sure they're used behind the scenes and by other smaller search engines which may indirectly affect it, but at the end of the day you can still put it in here. So test 1, test 2, blah blah blah. Alright, so you can always put the other meta keywords in here. If there's another meta keyword that I'm not aware of, it may exist. Let's call it new SEO equals that. You can do. Okay, so you can just keep adding more stuff. This just makes it simple to modify without having to go in the code. Alright, you can, as a default, not even touch this stuff. Okay, if I chop this out, it goes away. You don't even have to play around with this thing. You can just go right in the code, in the head, and paste the content you want. You can do this via FTP or Dreamweaver, okay, or some other method. You don't even need to see this web interface. You can go right into a text editor, FTP the files up. That's fine. So then what you want to do is you want to make sure you update. Okay, update will post it live. If you click Save Draft, it'll just save it in the editor here, but it does not make it live. Okay. Now, since I don't want to save what I just did, I'm just going to leave this page, and it won't be saved. Okay. Page templates. I have RTL and I have GTL templates. You can find out which template's being used by going to the home page. This basically means the setting will not include pre-generated head elements for the page and templates. Okay, so you can check this stuff off if you don't want to have it on. Now this is what it looks like in the main editor, but when you go to HTML view, here is the head. You see all the stuff in here. Okay, you can obviously add more metadata to your template. That is, this is where we put the tracking information from the content holders. So you can get the content holders simply by going to this direction. Inside here, if you don't want to use don't want to use this editor, you don't have to. So here's the content holder for the tracking, and the content holder just holds content, any content, and then when it's rendered, it'll be inserted in this position. But it's 100% HTML compliant, so whatever you stick inside here, it will work. Now, since the pages are injected inside of the template, you got to be aware that sometimes you may have duplicate content someplace. So I'm going to show you how it fixes this problem. So you see here it says HTML and then head, title, and close tag. Well, anything in this page is going to be inserted inside a template. But if it's got the words HTML, head, title, and whatever, it's going to remove this and use it as an identifier to insert what's in between it. So you're not going to have duplicate head tags inside your result code. You're just going to have the one head, open and close tags, and whatever's inside here will be inserted inside the template head and close tags. Okay, so I just want to make sure you're aware of that. And same thing with the end of body. So if you right at the close of the body tag, if I were to insert some content holder here, it's going to insert the content holder at the very end of this content. So this really is irrelevant in the scope of this conversation, because you have a template inserted in here. Where this makes more sense is that if you said none under templates, don't use a template, then you want to have this here. But as far as the page goes, don't worry about something being inserted, because the old way to do it was to just chop this off, so then it was just plain old content inserted in the template. But when it came to the metadata for the SEO, they didn't want to confuse things, so they made it so it's a raw HTML file that can be looked at and then inserted into a template. That's how I did it, so I'm just making you aware of it. That's really it. You can go to the URL redirects. This lists all the redirects that are on here. You can do them per page. You don't have to do them per in the manager. You can do them in here. Let's go back to the home page. See under more options, here's a redirect. You can browse to the new page. You can disable the file and launch a workflow. If something happens, you can have a release date and an expiry date of the page. You gotta get the idea. Also, some developers prefer this development page better than what you've seen before. This lists on the left side even the hidden directories. Okay, so you'll be able to see the content holders and templates and style sheets and all that stuff that are normally hidden from view. So this stuff wouldn't be seen normally, but it exists. So you can actually modify it directly in here. And you get multiple tabs going and copy and paste, and so it's up to you. It's not required. Just want to make sure that you're aware of it. That's basically it for the SEO. Like I said before, it's not WordPress, so it doesn't have a lot of there's no plugins to make SEO fast and easy, like where it breaks apart all the sitemap stuff. I'll show you that right away. So if we go back to manage and site settings or site domains. So these are all. This is the domain manager in here, and you can. A lot of this is external because we have other IPs associated with it, but it doesn't have to be for some things. And you can modify this isn't a full-blown DNS service, so there's only minor things you can do in here, but it allows you to pick home pages and keep everything in one location instead of having to go to another service to do that. Anyway, the sitemap. Okay, add a sitemap to a web page. So you're going to. Okay, so it takes a bit to create the page, but here is the sitemap. Now, the problem is that it does everything. So obviously we don't want that. I know you can move things around in here. It's not the greatest, so I never use this version of the sitemap. I just use the third-party tools to do it. This is more for visual sitemap to be managed by the system. So at the end of the day, what you would probably do is you create an XML file or a CSV file or however you want to do the sitemap, and plop it on a standard page in the directory, and then link to it in the footer of the template, just like you would do normally. WordPress does have those sitemap features where you can select it, which, by the way, I think what we could do is, moving forward, is create this sitemap feature for this tool. Their API, they've got an open API for us to develop, and one of them is the file system. So if you need something that it doesn't do, let me know. We might be able to create it pretty quickly. I don't want to, obviously spend time not needed, but we sell this. We're a reseller of Business Catalyst, and we have a lot of time injected into the CRM and other areas. So if you need something that would save you time or possibly help other people that we can sell, like other partners that we sell to partners, let me know, and we'll try to see if we can create it. Okay? So I hope I answered your question. If there's something that you didn't get answered, and you want to look it up, you can just go to this help support thing, type SEO for instance, and there's a whole lot of, there's the community articles, developers have things, issues, and community, so there's a lot of information here. Yeah, also when it comes to blog posts, things are slightly different. I wish I would have shown you, I didn't think to show you that. Let me quickly go back here. So the blog posts aren't under the site manager, they are under modules, and you'll have blogs here. So there's a GTL blog, and here is one post, I believe. Yeah, here's one post. So the same kind of deal. You can actually add the HTML, I believe, right to the top of this, like I showed you earlier. Okay, so in the community they have a question how to put unique metadata on each post, and here's the answer. It's kind of what I thought. You would just plop the metadata right in there, and you can insert the tags if you like, so that you don't have to recopy it. So I hope I answered your questions. Please feel free to ask anything you like, and I'll get back to you right away. Okay, thanks a lot.